Brilliant, super. So actually we could just turn around and go over here, or shall we? I'll just move. Yeah, let's come over here a little bit, and then sorry, Damon. I was sat round to there. There we go. And there we go there. Brilliant. We've got the best of both worlds now. We've got a bit of sun and a bit of shade, haven't we? Good. So let's quickly move this over here. Brilliant, brilliant. So from here, come to sit when you're ready. Give yourself a couple of moments sorting yourself out, but let yourself come to sit. And as you come to sit, plant yourself like a little bowl. So maybe even having a little bit of rocking backwards and forwards, side to side into the hips, so that you can let yourself sit for a moment. Breathing in and breathing out. And just giving yourself a moment or two. Send out the ears to hear the bird song. Maybe even a bee. The gentle hum of life in the background. But stepping back from that hum of life and coming in to nature, into the sounds around us, into our breath, into our inhalation. And then as you sit, can you let the thighs relax a little? If you can come back into the feet will support the thighs, the legs, the hips. So we can step back from tensing in the muscles and just enjoy sitting and being there. Let the tailbone release down into the ground. So there's a length coming up through the spine into the breastbone. Can you let the shoulder blades relax now? And imagine the spine extending beyond the crown of the head. And where does that bring you in this seatedness? So there is a lightness as you sit and a length in the spine. And come to the breath now, to the inhalation and to the exhalation, noticing how your breath is this morning. Is the breath fast? Is the breath slow? Really giving yourself time to arrive on the mat before we begin the practice of Surya Namaskar, sun salutation. So that whatever's gone on during the morning, the evening, however you've slept, you can let the mind settle for a moment or two. Now gently bring the hands together in Namaste and let the thumbs rest on the chest and on the heart. And we're going to begin by bringing the arms out and around the body on the inhalation, opening outwards, coming to the center of the palm, feeling you can draw the breath in from the center of the palm, breathe out, let the hands come down in front of the face. Let the breath come in and the arms come up. Breathe out and let the arms come down. Breathe in and let the arms come up. Breathe out and let the arms come down. Breathe in as the arms come up now. Find that length and extension all the way up through the spine. Very gently bring the spine forward. Let the hands come down onto the ground, but so you feel the fingertips on the ground coming up into your shoulder sockets, and you can lift the chest and the heart. Bring the fingertips around behind you. Let them rest just underneath the bottom and rest back into the heels of the hands so that there is a sense of space coming into these hip joints here. And then come up and over the knees, tucking the feet in, coming up and over the knees, or coming back into all fours, whichever suits you best. And then from all fours, release down through the tailbone to round the spine into cat pose. And let the crown of the head relax down. Come forward with the chest, forward with the heart, lightly tipping the tail up so the belly is relaxed. Relax in the belly, relax in the belly. Breathe out, release down into cat pose. And now come forward with the chest, forward with the heart. Keep the shoulder blades relaxed and easing back into the spine. Once more, come back into cat pose, release down through the tail. So it's only the pelvis that initially moves. It rolls over the thighs, the tail releases down to give length into the lumbar. And now come forward with the chest, forward with the heart. Bring the shoulder blades back into the spine. Relax the belly, let the belly soften. It helps the breath if the belly can relax. Come back into your neutral spine. Curl your toes under, roll over the feet, and up you come into squat pose. Bring the hands together in Namaste, letting the breath come in and the breath go out. How is it to balance across the ball of the foot? Breathing in and breathing out. Let the fingertips now come down to the ground. Extend the heels down into the ground. Lift the thighs up into the hips. And, you know, you can have a bend in the knee. Yeah, you can have a bend in the knee. But feel that you can lift thighs up into hips. Let the breath come in. Lift the spine up. Open the heart. Let the buttocks relax as the tail releases down. Come up into standing. Good. Bring the hands together in Namaste. Let's take a step forward with the right foot. So we're going to head towards the front of the mat. Let the breath come in. And as you come up through the arms, feel the space here into the belly. As you breathe out, release downwards. Bring the hands onto the sacrum. Root into the heels, spread into the ball of the foot. The big toe joint, the little toe joint, the inner heel and the outer heel. That's where we're going with the feet. Breath comes in and the arms come up. Lift the chest and the heart. Up and up and up, but keep that connection down into the feet. Bring the hands together in Namaste. Step forward now with the left foot. Let the breath come in and the arms come up. Good. Into the big toe joint, little toe joint, inner heel, outer heel. Spread through the feet. Breathe out. Brings the spine forward. Let the hands come onto the sacrum and extend forward through the spine. Breathing in and breathing out. Good. Take a breath in, up you come through the arms. Good. And again, looking to lift the ribs off of the hips, going down through the tail. Bring the hands together in Namaste. Step forward. And we start with Surya Namaskar. Let the breath come in, the arms come up. Breathe out and release down. Fingertips come onto the ground. Bring the hands onto the shins and extend the spine forward so you find length in every vertebra. Bring the fingertips back down to the ground. Extend back with the left leg, brings you into lunge pose. Left knee comes down to the ground, breath comes in and the arms come up. Let the tail release down. Breathe out, bring the hands down to the ground, step back into downward dog pose. Breath coming in and out. Bend the knees, come back into child's pose. Front of the feet rest onto the ground, breathing in and breathing out. Slide the hands forward now, round the spine into cat pose. Let the breastbone come forward into cobra. Relax the front of the feet down into the ground. Curl the toes under, roll over the feet, up you come into downward dog pose. Relax the knees, lift up through the hips. Breathing in and breathing out. Bend the knees, come down into all fours, come forward now with the left foot. Breath comes in and the arms come up. Strong in your feet. Good. Breathe out, release down. Come into forward bend. Breath comes in and the arms come all the way up. Brings you into standing. Hands come together. In Namaste. Let's go again. Come up through the arms. Breathe out, release down. Bring the hands onto the shins. Extend the spine forward. Breathe out, release back down. Step back this time with the right foot into your lunge pose. Good. Right knee comes down to the ground. Breath comes in and the arms come up. Breathe out, release down. Step back into downward dog pose. Breathing in and breathing out. Stay here for a couple of breaths, bringing the awareness to the hip and thigh joints at the front of the hip and the thigh. Can you relax the thighs here? Bend the knees a little bit more so that hip and thigh joint has some room. Yeah, it's not pushed, it's not tense. We want to find space there. Bend the knees and now come back into child's pose. Breathe. Stay in child's pose. 3 breaths in child's pose. Breathing in and breathing out. Really feeling that you can bring the breath into the back of the body. Send the hands forward, round the spine into cat pose, bring the chest and the heart forward into cobra. Unfurl your spine. Curl the toes under, come up and over the feet into downward dog pose. Spread through the ball of the foot again as you did in your squat pose. So you're in your big toe joint, in your little toe joint, to bring you into your thighs and your hips. Bend your knees, come into all fours, come forward now with the right foot. Breath comes in and the arms come up. Strong in your feet. Breathe out, brings the hands down. Step forward into forward bend. Bring your hands onto your shins. Extend your spine forward so you're like an upside down L. But then let your arms dangle. So we're looking for a little bit of space now into the shoulder sockets. And then let the fingertips come down to the ground. Take a breath in, up you come with the arms. Connect down into the heels, into the balls of the feet. Good. Bring the hands together. Again, up through the arms. Breathe out, release down. This time, bend your elbows. Hold each elbow. Relax your knees. Let your spine dangle. Breathing in and breathing out. Spreading through the balls of the feet, going down into the heels. Breathing in and breathing out. Now let your fingertips come down to the ground. So really slow beat this morning to begin with. Step back with the left foot. Left knee comes down to the ground. Now you're going to round your spine and bring your arms forward so you're putting on a cape. And come up through your chest, through your heart, out through your fingers. Bring your hands forward either side of the front foot. Curl the back toes under if you want to. Come up with the right foot. It's entirely up to you. Bring the foot down if you have. Bend the knees, come back into child's pose. Breathe in and out. Send the fingers forward. Round the spine into cat pose. Bring the chest and the heart forward into cobra. Unfurling your spine. Lifting from just underneath the breastbone. Curl the toes under. Roll over the feet. Spread into the toes, into the balls of the feet. Relax the knees. Breath coming in and out. So options, all fours and forward with the left foot, or you can come up into the air with the left leg, bend the knee into the chest and plant the foot between the hands. It's entirely up to you how energetic you're feeling this morning. Back knee comes down, round the spine, bring the arms forward, up through the chest, through the heart. Good, hands come forward, come into forward bend. Bring the hands onto the shins. Remember, we want to get space in the shoulder joints. Now let the arms dangle. Breathing in and breathing out. Let the fingertips release down to the ground. Big deep breath in, out through the arms, up through the spine. Lifting you up, hands come together in Namaste. So we're going to have another slow round. And then we'll take it up a little bit. Breathe out, release down. Let's bend the elbows again, hold each elbow. So the weight of the spine begins to lengthen in the hamstrings, and you can feel that, yeah? You can feel that as you relax the knees, there's more movement going on right at the top of the thighs and into the backs of the knees. Fingertips come down to the ground now. Step back with the right foot. Right knee comes down, round the spine. Arms come forward, up through the chest, up through the heart. Stand strong in your feet. Good. Hands come forward. Curl the back toes under. Come up into your three-legged dog if you want to. You don't have to. Bring the foot down to the ground. Bend the knees. Come back into child's pose. Breathe, release down through the tail, relax the elbows. Feel as though you can let the whole of the back of the body open. Send your fingers forward, round your spine into cat pose, bring your chest and your heart forward into cobra. Unfurl your spine. Good. Curl the toes under, come up into downward dog pose. Breathing in and out. Come up now with the right leg if you want to, or all fours and forward with the right foot. Yeah, foot comes between the hands. Good. Back knee comes down, round spine, arms forward. Strong in your feet, supporting you back into your thighs and into your hips. Out you come. Fingers forward. Come into forward bend. Hands on your shins, extend your spine, and then let the arms dangle. Fingertips come down to the ground. Breath comes in and the arms come up. All the way up. Bring the hands together in Namaste. So now we're going to have a round in silence. We did this on Wednesday and it was really lovely. So follow. Don't worry if you go out of time. Don't worry if you lose your spot. Don't worry about it. The body will find its way. So noticing how it is, how it calms the mind to practice in silence. Let's take a step back now with the left foot to bring us into Trikonasana. Let's come up through the arms. Breathe out, bring the chest, the spine, the heart forward. Let the hands come onto the sacrum and really extend forward through the heart. Lift the toes for a moment. So you wake up the arches of the feet. Let the toes come down to the ground. Let the right hand come onto the shin. Rotate through the rib cage. And up you come with the left arm, breathing in and out. stand firm in your feet. Let your chest and your heart lengthen forward. Good. As you breathe out, bring your left hand down to meet your right. And as you breathe in, let your left arm come up. And be soft in the hand as you bring the arm up. Because if you're soft in the hand, that's going to encourage when you breathe out, let the arm come down. It encourages softness in the shoulder. Breath comes in, the arm comes up. Breath goes out, the arm comes down. Now we're going to bring both arms up. Now bring the spine up. Strong in the feet, up you come with the spine. Good. Bring the hands together in Namaste. As you step forward, bring the left knee up, bring the foot onto the shin, open out into tree pose. So where we've done the work on the front foot, we're really rooted into the ground now. Breathing in and breathing out. Keep your eye line on something. Bring the foot down to the ground. As you bring the feet down to the ground, keep them hip distance apart. Let the knees come forward so you come down into chair pose. And again, think about this space here. You feel that the base goes straight down to the ground and you come up through the arms, breathing in and breathing out. As we breathe out next, come forward as though you're diving into a lovely big swimming pool. Let the crown of the head release straight down to the ground as much as you can. So if there's any rubbish that's gone on in your week, you're emptying it out of the head now. You're letting it go. Let the breath come in and the arms come up. All the way up and around. Good. Bring the hands together in Namaste. Step back now with the right foot. Trikonasana again. Up you come through the arms. Let the spine come forward. Let the pelvis come over the thighs. Bring the hands onto the sacrum. Come forward from the heart. Left hand comes down, rotate through the rib cage, up you come with the right arm, breathing in and out. Remember, we want the softness in the right hand. As you take a breath in and you breathe out, let the arm come down. As you breathe in, up you come with the arm. Softness in the back of the hand. Good. Breathe out, let the arm come down. Keep coming back to your feet. That's going to give you the support you need. Breath comes in and the arms come up. Good. Let's keep the arm upwards for a little bit. Breathing in and breathing out here, lengthening up through the fingertips, but without force or push. Let the hand come down to the ground, towards the left hand. Take a breath in, up you come with the arm. Strong in your feet. The feet will lift the spine. Bring the hands together in Namaste. Come up now with the right knee. Brings the foot onto the shin, open out through the hip socket. That left foot is deeply rooted now. Breath coming in. Bring the foot down to the ground, feet hip distance apart, letting the knees come forward, sinking into the feet, thinking about the tail, releasing straight down to the ground. Breath comes in, the arms come up, lift the thighs up into the hips and dive forward into your swimming pool, fingertips onto the ground. Take a big step back now with the left foot, as though we would do in sun salutation, right knee bends, coming into our lunge pose. From here now, keep your back heel lifted. Breath comes in, the arms come up. Stand down into your right foot. Use your feet, not your knee joints or your glutes. Yep, strong in your feet. Breathe out, bring the hands down to the ground. Step back now into downward dog, just as you would do in your sun salutation. Breathing in and breathing out. Walk your feet forward towards your hands. Keep your fingertips onto the ground. Step back now with the right foot. Again, you're coming into your lunge pose, strong through the balls of the feet, strong in the front foot, down into the heel, up you come. Good, brilliant. Breathing in and breathing out. Breathe out, bring the hands down to the ground, step back into dog pose. Walk the feet forward towards the hands. Take a breath in, bring the arms out and around the body, all the way up above the head. And bring the hands together in Namaste. Good. Now go out through the fingers. Bring them in, bring the left elbow on top of the right.
And where you can, right hand into left palm. If that feels really uncomfortable, you can bring the hands to here or to here. Yeah. Bend the knees again, just as we did coming into chair pose, releasing down through the tail. Right leg comes over left. Bend the knees a little bit more, maybe the foot comes around behind. Feel as though you're rooting the sole of the left foot into the ground. Breathe. As you breathe in and out, can you relax the thighs a little bit more as we did in sitting this morning? Lift the right knee, bring the foot all the way around behind you to come back into warrior two and go out through the arms. Now we found some space into the shoulder joints. Let the gaze come across the fingertips and again come back into the feet. Relax the buttocks. Good. Let the back arm come onto the thigh and lift up. Look for the space in the front of the body. Breathe out. Let the lower arm come onto the upper thigh. Come up and over, looking for the connection from the little finger all the way up into the, all the way down rather, into the little toe. Good. Come back up again. Arm comes up. Good. Come back into warrior two now. Virabhadrasana. Bring the hands together in Namaste. We're going to lift the back heel and spiral around to bring us into lunge pose. Keep the back heel lifted, but then let the right knee come over, the right elbow come over to the left knee. So you're continuing that spiral from the heel up into the shoulder. Come back to the center with the spine, hands come down to the ground, relax the back knee, step back into downward dog pose. Breathing in and breathing out. What is the sense felt across the back of the hips now? They should begin to feel like they're spreading. Walk the feet towards the hands. Let the breath come in, up you come with the spine. Good. Lift the spine off of the hips. Bring the hands together in Namaste. Go out through the fingers. Right elbow comes on top of left now. Left hand into right palm, breathing in and breathing out. Gently bending the knees, bending them forward a little bit like you're coming down into your tree pose again. Left leg comes over right. And feel that you can sit down into it. Yeah? You can root the right foot into the ground. You can let the tail release out so the back of the hips nice and space. Breathe. Come up now with the left knee. Bring the leg all the way around behind you into warrior two. Go out through the arms. Breath coming in and out. Gaze across the front fingertips. Front knee in line with the two middle toes. Back foot, the heels are in line, or the heel and the arm. Good. Back arm comes onto that thigh. Breathe. Opens here. Breathe out. Bring the arm down onto the thigh. Come up and over. And again, the connection of the fingers back into the rib cage and the connection of the leg up into the hip. As you breathe out now, let's come up again. Strong in that front foot to bring you there. Good. Relax the buttocks. Come back into warrior two. Gaze across the front fingertips. Bring the hands together in Namaste. Spiral around now. So we lift the back heel to spiral us around into present, into lunge. And then let the left knee come down. Left elbow, beg my pardon, onto the right knee. That would be a game twister. Breathing in and breathing out. Come back to the center. Bring the hands onto the ground and step back into downward dog pose. Breathing in, breathing out. Bend the knees, come back into child's pose. Stay in child's pose for a moment. Let the body relax. Let the elbows bend. Let the tail release down. Feel that you can bring the breath into the back of the body. Into the back of the ribs. Walk both of the hands over to the left and bring the right hand on top of the left. So like what we've just done in Virabhadrasana, Warrior Two, we're opening the ribs again. And relax here, relax the elbows, relax the shoulders. Bring the hands over to the right now. Let the left hand come on top of the right. And again, relax here, relax the body. Breathing in and breathing out. Come back to the center with the hands. Take a step forward now with the right foot. Curl the left toe under and bring the left knee forward, yeah? So you're not strictly in all fours, yeah? You've got a shorter space between the back of the right heel and the front of the left knee. So that we can come up, we can stand down into the feet, bring the left heel into the ground, and we come straight up into Warrior One. Good. So we come up from the feet, give us that lift up through the spine. Let the arms come down. Breath comes in and the arms come up. Lift up the heart. Good. Strong in the feet. Breathe out. Let the arms come down. Breath comes in and the arms come up. Good. Breathe out and we release out. Good. Breath comes in. Come up. Lift the back heel. Spread through the ball of the foot. Be strong in the front foot. Come up and over. Breathe into Warrior Three. Breathing in and breathing out. Bring the fingertips down to the ground. Keep the leg extended. We're going to bring the left foot down to the ground and then come back into lunge pose. Good. Bring the hands together in Namaste. Come up with the spine. Keep the breastbone coming forward. Left elbow comes around to right knee again. Breathing in and breathing out. Keeping the back heel lifted. Lifting the back heel straight up so you support the back knee. Come back to the center. Bring the hands onto the ground. Bring the knee onto the ground. Take a breath in up to come with the arms. Let the tail drop down. Good. Breathe out. Bring the hands down to the ground. Come back into child's pose. How does the right hip joint feel now compared to the left? So the movement of the foot creating space in the hip joint. Up we come, into all fours, come forward with the left foot. Curl the right toe under, bring the knee in more. Yeah, so you're giving yourself, when you come up, you're giving yourself a lesser stride. Breath comes in, the arms come up, just use the feet. Stand straight down into the front foot, good. Back heel goes into the ground, left knee's coming forward, brings you into Warrior One. Breathe out, bring the arms down. Breath comes in and the arms come up. Good. Breathe out, releases you down. In and up, lifts the heart. Breathe out, let go. Good. Breathe in, come up, lift the back heel. Strong through the ball of the back foot. Good. Strong into the front foot. Pelvis comes over the thighs. Just as we did in Trikonasana, except we're using one leg to support us. Breath coming in and out. Bring the fingertips down to the ground. Keep the leg lifted. And then bring the foot, the right foot down. You're coming into your lunge pose. Bring your hands together in Namaste. Stand firm in the front foot. Bring the spine up. Right elbow comes round to left knee. Keep the right heel off the ground to give you support and balance. Good. Breathing in and breathing out. Come back to the center, bring the hands down to the ground. Let the right knee come down to the ground. Breath comes in and the arms come up. Good. Breathe out, bring the hands down, come back into child's pose. Stay in child's pose, rest. Breathing in, breathing out. So lots of postures this morning to balance us and to ground us. Up we come, brings us into kneeling, bring the bottom over to the right and let the legs come forward. And as we sit, bring a little bend into the knee. And again, use the backs of the heels so you can take it off of the thighs. Very often we're sort of holding the thighs here. Bring the right arm underneath the right knee. Bring the knee in a little bit more. Relax the left foot and open in and out through the hip joint. Good. So very, very gently here. Good. And then bring the right foot down onto the ground, having a hand space between the two. Bring the hands together in Namaste. Rotate your spine around rather than bringing yourself around. Rotate your spine. Good. Now let your left elbow come round your right knee and bring the right hand onto the ground. So we haven't just pulled ourselves around, we consciously move the spine. Breathing in and out, feel the lift up through the breastbone. Relax into the back of the left heel now. Let that left thigh relax so it's not gripping. Let the the left hand come to hold the right big toe and extend away through the heel to lift the leg. Lift the heart. Breathing in and breathing out. Relax the right knee now. Let it bend. Bring the right foot over the left thigh and let the left arm come back around and you come back into your rotation. Breathing in and breathing out. So we're coming in towards the knee. Bring the spine all the way around now, over to the left. Take hold of the right big toe with the right hand and extend up and away through the heel. Breathing in and breathing out, feeling the back of the knee open. Now bend the right knee. Bring the sole of the foot in towards the left thigh and the fingertips come out to the sides and up. Find your sitting bones. Find that base. Once you find the base, the spine can come straight up. Take a breath in, bring the arms up. Relax the shoulders. Interlink the fingers, point away through the index finger and thumb. Feel that your shoulders rest back down into their sockets. Breathe out. Come forward with the spine. Fingertips free up and come onto the ground. Keep the heart lifted. Shoulder blades back into the spine. Up we come, bring the fingertips around behind you, rest into the heels of the hands. So it's not a forceful push back. What we're looking for is to get some space in the belly, and then through lift here, can this hip joint relax a little bit more because there's no pressure of the spine on it. Up we come, bring the fingertips out to the sides, go away. And then bend the knees a little bit. So the backs of the heels supporting. Left hand comes underneath left knee, go away through the right leg. Brings you in and out, in and out. Good. And then plant that left foot onto the ground. Right hand between. And then bring the hands together in Namaste. Move the spine first. Yeah, because then you know as far as it's comfortable for your spine to move, and then let the right elbow come around and the left hand behind, and try to keep it there so we don't get into that habit of pulling ourselves around more than we need to. Come into the big toe joint of the left foot, the little toe joint of the left foot, but not so you're standing in it and creating tension in your left thigh, so that foot is supporting you. Yeah. Let your right hand come down to your left toe, extend away through your leg. Breathing in and breathing out. But you're keeping the rotation of the spine. So it's like a seated reverse Trikonasana. Bend your left knee, bring your foot over and come back around with the spine, with the elbow. Relax the hip, relax the glute now. Come up through the breastbone, lift upwards through the crown of the head. Is going to help lengthen the muscles around the glutes, around the hip joint. Bring the spine all the way around. Take hold of the left foot with the left hand and extend away through the heel. Bring the foot in. Sole of the foot comes on to the inside of the thigh. Fingertips come out to the side. Find your planting. Yeah. Let the back of this left right heel come into the ground. Take a breath in. Up you come with the arms. Good. Interlink the fingers. Point the way through the index finger and thumb. But keep the shoulder blades relaxing down. Free up the fingertips, let them come down onto the ground either side of the front foot. Gaze to the big toe, so we keep the spine a little bit further up. Good. Bring the hands around behind you and bring the fingertips just underneath the bottom and rest back. So once you start resting back into the heels of the hand, you're taking it off the left hip. Maybe that left hip can release out a little bit. Up you come through the spine. Bring the soles of the feet together now in Baddha Konasana. How do the hips feel? What did we do to make that space? We lifted the spine. So can we come up and up through the spine? Do we need to come back and replant ourselves? What do we need to do to feel comfortable and to feel supported there? Close the eyes. Send out the ears once more. Let the breath come in and out. And just for a moment, enjoy the silence. Bring the fingertips into the middle of the diamond. Go out through the heels, brings you into Upvista Konasana. And feel free to have a little bend into the knee. Come to sit now. Can you let the thighs really rest down into the ground? Up through the chest, up through the heart. Take a breath in, up you come with the arm. Breathe out. Bring the spine forward. Doesn't matter where you end up, yeah? Hands can come onto the shins. You might only move forward 0.5 centimetre. That's absolutely fine. Come up through the crown of the head now and bring the legs in together. Have a little walk on your bottom. We're going to come to lie down now. See how we do. We've got time for a bridge pose. We should always have time for a bridge pose. Now for the watch work. Let's bend the knees down. We come to rest onto the spine. Breathing in and breathing out. Let the feet find the ground. Let the heels find the ground. The balls of the feet find the ground. Stand in your feet. Let your hips lift away from the ground. As you stand in your feet, send your knees forward towards me. Relaxing the buttocks, relaxing the thighs. Lift the heart up towards the chin. Stand strong in your feet. There's no push in the lumbar here. Breathe in and breathe out. Let the bottom come down to the ground. Let both of the legs come up towards the sky. Good. Feel that your thighs rest straight down into your hip sockets, even if you stroke your thighs down into your hip sockets. Breathing in and breathing out. And whilst the sun is strong, if it's okay to, for a moment, bring the gaze straight up to that blue sky. Let the knees bend now, bring the feet onto the ground. Stand back down into the feet, let the pelvis lift, feel the feet rooting into the ground, brings you back into bridge pose. Knees come forward towards me, but without push through the back of the hips. Let the bottom come down to the ground, and as the bottom comes down, let the legs come up into the air. Breathing in and breathing out. Bend the knees. Let the heels come down towards the bottom. Keep the thighs coming straight up. Bring your hands on top of your knees now. And gently roll your knees so you massage your lower spine. If you feel you'd like to come up into shoulder stand, then feel free to. What we're going to do is we're going to bring the feet back onto the ground. If you don't want to come into shoulder stand, keep the legs coming up into the air. Stand in the feet, come up into bridge pose. This gives us the lift up through the spine. Let the bottom come back down to the ground. And as the bottom comes down, let the feet spring up. And is there a movement to lift up through the hips and in to shoulder stand? Don't force it. Feel that it wants to move naturally. Stand your feet on the sky. And when you're ready to, let your spine come down. We don't need to stay there for ages if we don't want to. We stay there as long as we want to. Let the hands come onto the ground. Feel the soles of the feet on the ground. Feel the breath coming in and the breath going out. Let the spine rest. Let the spine rest. Come back to the breath, to the inhalation and to the exhalation. How is your breath now after the practice? And the breath travel down into the bottom of the ribs. The breath travels down and the ribs open out. By focusing on the movement of the ribs to the upper ribs around the breastbone. Do these move a little bit more? So now imagining the ribs and the breastbone as a sunflower. The breastbone, the center of the sunflower, the petals, the ribs. As we breathe in, the sunflower opens. As we breathe out, the petals gather back in and the sunflower gathers in towards itself. It doesn't close, it comes in. The breath comes in and the sunflower opens. The breath goes out, the sunflower gathers in and rests. The breath comes in and the sunflower opens. The breath goes out and the sunflower gathers in and rests. When the breath comes in, we welcome new energy, new prana. When the breath goes out, what no longer serves us leaves. Breath comes in, new oxygen, new nutrients. Breath goes out, carbon dioxide, what our bodies don't need. So, breath comes in, what our body needs comes in. Breath goes out, what our body doesn't need.